And what's up, y'all? And welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Site. This is the Rampage review show. We're just coming off from Bloody Guts on Wednesday, but last night on Rampage we had a first ever Royal Rampage Battle Royal to determine the number one contender to John Moxley's interim AEW World Championship. We also had the Young Bucks went against the New Japan's Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi in a eliminated number one contender match. And then of course we had Tony Storm and versus Nyla Rose as well. But before we get into today's Rampage shows, let's welcome my co-host for this evening. And as always, Leland Benford. What's up, bro?
What is up, everybody? They finishing out Rampage in my hometown of Detroit, Michigan. Man, I hope they keep that going. I hope they visit that city a bunch of times because Detroit is a great wrestling city.
Yeah. So again, this is not a live show, so this is definitely is a taping. So they still kept the two rings, especially for the first match we're going to talk about is the first ever the Royal Rampage, and I like the use the concept of this match. It's kind of similar to a mixture of the Casino Battle Royale and the Royal Rumble. To be exact. So it was pretty good. So in the graphics, if you not see the competitors in this match was the debut of Rush, Frankie Kazarian, John Silver, Orange Cassidy, former AEW champion and Hangman Adam Page, Kazuya, Penta, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland, Darby Allin, Dustin Rhodes, The Butcher and the Blade, Max Caster, Tony Nese, Matt Hardy, Dante Martin, and Brody King. So let's get into the order as it started. So it started off with Powerhouse Hobbs and Adam Page in ring one, or if you want to call it the red ring. And then you had Darby Allin and Tony Nese in ring two, which is the blue ring. So there was the number one and number two entrants. So for number three, we had Ricky Starks coming in for the red ring and the Butcher coming in for the blue ring. And then at number four, we had John Silver coming in for the red and Matt Katzer coming in for the blue. And then number five, we had Rush coming in for the red and then the Blade coming in for the blue ring. And then at number six, we had Penta for the red and Swerve Strickland coming in for the blue. Then at number seven, we have Keith Lee for the red and Matt Hardy for the blue. And at number eight, we had Dustin Rhodes for the red, Frankie Kazarian for the blue. At number nine, Dante Martin for the red, Kazuki at number nine for the blue. And then finally, we had Brody King for the red, and then Orange Cassidy for the blue. So after all the chaos, it left with Brody King for the red and Darby Allin for the blue. So in the final moments of the match, King gave Allin a Dr. Bomb that hit him with a cannonball in the corner. Allin got King up in the apron, but King grabbed a rear naked choke on Allin, pulling him over the ropes, literally hanging him off the apron while choking him out, and then dropped unconscious Allin on the floor for the win. This was every Battle Royal ever, but this is like a first time ever using like two rings. I was kind of going for Darby Allin, but I kind of like this choosing of Brody King winning the match because I feel like this might set up a future rivalry with the House of Black and the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of what I saw with the graphic when they had it with Brody King versus Mox, and they had the House Black logo and the Blackpool Combat Club logo. I'm like, oh yeah, get these guys scrapping. I'd love to see some Malachi Black versus Claudio. Could you imagine that match? But yeah, get these guys scrapping. I don't know the status of Matthew's injury, but hopefully, I think they said he still can wrestle. But yeah, those are some of the most talented people in AEW versus some of the most talented people in AEW.
Yeah, so John, it is official for Dynamite Wednesday, which I say is a championship edition for Dynamite, and we'll get to more matches in a second. Is that it is official? John Moxley will be defending the interim AEW World Championship against Brody King for this coming Wednesday. So that is official.
And I think definitely that little hangman spot at the end with Darby was great. I didn't think Brody King was going to win it, but I think it was definitely something interesting. I mean, he looks like he should win it because he's huge and a monster. So yeah, looking forward to it. The match was pretty cool how they broke it down with the red and the blue. It didn't feel like there was too much happening. It felt like there was enough action where I could take everything in. And then not everyone was jumping towards each other. So I think definitely this was a good first Royal Rampage, and also a great use of 2 rings. And what else can you do with that? So I think hopefully I would like to see this to be his own pay-per-view or his own thing. If they keep that going forward, every time there's blood and guts, there's going to be a Royal Rampage. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I could definitely see this a thing for Rampage after at the Blood and Guts on the Dynamite. I can see this definitely being the thing. So let's see if it's going to come back next year as part of Blood and Guts or Dynamite Wednesday next year. We'll see if that's going to come back next year. But moving on, Alex Marvez tried to interview Hook. Hook got in Marvez's face and told him anything external is invisible to eyes. Okay, then.
I was like, what?
Well, Hook is only not that many words. He just let his actions do the talking, and that's what we want.
I was like, man, I bet Taz produced this segment. I can see them trying to make him look all deep. Like, man, we don't need all that from Hook, man. I feel like they didn't start doing something with his promos, kind of getting over the whole silent treatment thing, like stop talking to him and he's not going to say nothing. That only works for so much. But if you say something, don't let it be that, whatever the heck that was, make it something, make it something that's going to, pop out. But, hopefully they learn from their mistake on this one. That segment was a bad thing. I'm like, huh? I like Hook, but don't make me not like him.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Dan Houser was not there with her because I feel like he will be the actual sports person for her as part of the Hook housing. But it's all right. We'll have a Hook housing for another day. But the AEW World Championship Eliminator match with the Young Bucks versus Hiroshi Goto and Yoshihashi. So if Goto and Hashi win this match, then they will get a championship match with the Young Bucks. So in the final moments of the match, Goto caught Nick with a Yoshi-Goroshi, and then Yoshihashi caught Nick with a super kick out of the second Yoshi for another near fall. Matt and Nick sent Goto to a super kick party and then knocked him into the other ring. Nick then hit a double springboard for the first ring into the second ring on Goto. Then the Bucks hit a mentor driver on Hoshi, with Nick jumping from the ring to ring one, and that was a quite a finish of that was pretty good. So I feel like the Young Bucks is just gonna wait out until All Out, so we get because I feel like I said before, we might get FTR versus the Young Bucks and maybe a winner take all belts, and I feel like FTR might be the new belt collectors. The FTR probably going to get the AEW World Title as well. They probably going to be the new the belt collectors. Start out what Kenny Omega started. That's why I feel like it's going to happen.
Yeah, I can definitely see that having them be those give it to them, man. Let them cement their legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's man, they made it. They became one of the top guys in the business. So let them cement their legacy. Give them an opportunity to, um, you know, um, yeah, really be like the promo they just had. He said, our names belong next to the greats, and they're not lying. They're over like Rover. You can't get no more over, bro. Like, so giving them belts. You know what? I think for the first time in a long while, I'm kind of like getting stale to like the Young Bucks gimmick or like the Young Bucks in general. I think it's time to shake that up a little bit. And, Nick is a great singles wrestler. I think he's better singles wrestler than Matt is. But I like to see some rivalry. Why not give Nick a crew? Why not give Matt a crew? And shake it up that way. Factions.
What actually shake up? Bringing Kenny Omega back, and we get those trio titles. That's what will be a better shake up. That will be the shake.
True. I think the trio. I think that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for Omega to be back to the trios championships. How do you feel about the whole debate about too many belts?
Man, what I said before FTR, that they have all the gold, and if they get the AEW World titles and they face the Young Bucks and All Out and they win the AEW title, bro, you'll be like, the Usos who and Roman who? Like, come on, man. They'll be good. They'll be the best tag team all around the world, and you can't even.
That is the one thing about, with WWE not really working with other companies. You can't see their champions walk out with multiple belts and multiple things. It's only going to be a SmackDown belt or a Raw belt. How many times have the Usos run each of those belts? You know what I mean? Like, they've been the top guys so many times. Those belts kind of stop meaning anything because, like, there's no other comp, So the real competition is outside those WWE walls, because that's where people are winning these multiple belts. Man, shit. Sorry to cuss, but let's take FTR over to NWA. Let's get those belts. Let's get the Impact belts. Let's get the GCW belts. It ain't over yet.
Yeah, exactly. But until we get to All Out, but the Young Bucks gonna need some competition, because we do have Battle of the Belts coming soon. We got Grand Slam coming soon, and then we got a Quake by the Lake show also coming up in August. I think it's Battle of the Belts 3 and Quake by the Lake in August, and then Grand Slam. I think Grand Slam is after All Out. I believe. Yeah, I could be wrong. Well, let me look at the dates for All Out. Because they mentioned All Out during the I think it was either on Dynamite or Rampage, because I saw that when it was like promoted, and they said like, oh, that we announced the date for that. Let me see. All Out 2022. Oh yes, Labor Day. Yeah, Labor Day weekend for All Out. So they got plenty of time. So it just Battle of the Belts 3 and Quake by the Lake. So those are the two special shows before before All Out. So they have plenty of time. For the Young Bucks and the other champions to have competition until they find someone to pair them up with for All Out. Because we already know, like we mentioned, like we predicted before, the Young Bucks might face FTR at All Out, and Jon Moxley is going to face CM Punk for the undisputed AEW World Title when CM Punk comes back. We don't know when, but the recovery shouldn't be that long. We say he might be back for All Out, but only time will tell. So it's just a matter of where everything goes from here and everything else.
Yeah. I think definitely there's a lot of stuff on the horizon for AEW. And I'm actually like, when Tony Khan, when they were making fun of him, like signing and booking so many people, But look how many people got injured. So it's kind of good that he got all these extra talented people there to kind of run because he's pushing these guys hard. Like these guys go out there and they scrap. Like, this ain't no WWE stuff. Like, they go out there and they're really, making sure people when they tune in, they see the difference between professional wrestling and sports entertainment. And it's causing some injuries. They're going hard in the paint. You know what I mean? But they're doing it for the fans, and they're doing it for the sport, and they want to be different, and they want to show that they have the superior style. So that's a part of it. I guess the fans going to be a little bit more willing to kind of wait for these guys to come back because I mean, if these guys out there doing all that and they're not getting injured, it takes away some of the credibility of it. But now when you got so many people on the injured list, it's like, oh man, they in there fighting, they in there scrapping. That's why, it's a lot happening. And they are hitting harder than other companies. They are being more aggressive than other companies. They're being more bloodier than other companies. They got, so yeah, I mean, that kind of comes with the territory. That's the kind of product you want to put out, a more aggressive, hard hitting product, then yeah, you might have a couple of more injuries than other companies that's, doing the nerf type wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. And so moving on, the ROH World Champion Jonathan Gresham cut a promo laying a claim to the best technical wrestler in the world. So he was kind of shouted out to Claudio and during that promo. Gresham will prove that on NetSuite's Rampage in a tag match against Tony Blanchard's team against the Gates Archery. So I believe this might be a setup towards the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, Death Before Honor, to see who will be the next challenger for Jonathan Gresham and the ROH World Championship.
Definitely. Gresham, heck of a talent. I think he's just one of those guys. Even his promo, he said, "You're not used to hearing my name," which is correct. But he's a heck of a talent, and this is the thing about I can't wait for Ring of Honor to kind of start getting really on their feet again, because I feel like Gresham is definitely that top guy there, and he definitely has a lot to bring to the table as far as just wrestling ability. So seeing him on TV more often, not a bad thing, my brother. Not a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course, Death Before Honor. I think that is on. Let me check on the date on that one. That's on July 23rd. And I think that's the a week the week before SummerSlam weekend. That was the week before SummerSlam weekend.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, I can't wait to see Ring of Honor just get back to their schedule, kind of get some content going, some storylines going. Because right now, their storylines is hanging on by a thread through AEW television. But there's no show for them right now where they can really display what's happening in their world. Without AEW right now, Ring of Honor, I know it's kind of the same company now. It's a merger happening, but without that presence on AEW TV, it's kind of they don't have anything right now. So it'd be good to see them back, back on their schedule.
Oh, there's definitely going to be a lot of AEW presence at Death Before Honor because we're definitely going to get the Samoa Joe versus Jay Lethal for the ROH World Television Championship. We might see Mercedes Martinez defending the Women's Championship against what's her name? What's the name?
Was it no, who you
Oh,
talking
Serena.
about?
Yeah, Serena D. Yeah, that's what I think it was. I guess Serena D. We might see that match. We definitely gonna see FTR defending the tag team championship on that show as well. So these are my predictions that might gonna happen at the show. We might see other matches that be announced on that show as well. But as far as the AEW presence, FTR is gonna be there. Serena Deeb is gonna be there. Of course, Jay Lethal and Samoa Joe is gonna be there as well. So those are my predictions so far.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think like I said, once I can't wait to see them back on their own schedule. So I think they got a lot of great talent, and especially with the AEW kind of connection. Like yeah, looking forward to the future for Ring of Honor. Did you see the new logo?
Oh yeah, yes, I did.
What you think about it?
It looks on.
It looks like a punk rock type vibe, you know, that kind of like a sticker you would see like at a rock and roll show, like in the bathroom or something, you know. So I think I can kind of already tell what kind of vibe we're about to go for, like that real rock and roll type kind of vibe.
Yeah. So main event promo time. Nyla Rose cut a great promo with Marina Shafir. So I see that those two being a pair now. So it got me wicked thinking, where's Vicky? I don't see Vicky no more with Nyla Rose. But anyway, Storm response wasn't quite up to the level as Rose. But so yeah, main event time. Tony Storm versus Nyla Rose. And how did Nyla Rose get back up to the number one ranking? I don't get it. And Tony Storm is back at 3. I don't get it. How did Nyla Rose get back up to 1?
We've been watching Elevation.
Really? Oh my God. So
she's been putting in work on Dark.
Wow. I don't believe it. But some of the fans that left during the match, not a lot, but it was noticeable. In the final, yeah.
I'm gonna say just bad booking on Rampage. Like, think about if you was there in Detroit watching this, you would have watched the Blood and Guts match, which was an hour, and then you would have watched them raise the cage, and then you would have watched that Rampage Royale, and then you would have said to yourself, okay, what's coming up next? Bucks, and then Nyla Rose and Tony Storm. You know, I hate that they booked the women's match that way, because you just kind of making it where, like, yeah, I'll just watch it on Friday if I'm there. I think Tony Storm and Nyla should have went like probably in the middle, and the Bucks should have came out and started Rampage, and then the Royal Rampage at the end. I feel like that would have kept the Bucks in the seats.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. But I think they was trying to get the fans hyped up. With starting the Royal Rampage first. I kind of understand where they going here, but
yeah, but Rampage is its own show. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have your own main event, and for that to be the main event, no shade to the women's wrestling and Nyla Rose and Tony Storm. I don't think I would have stuck around, especially if I got to think about traffic and, it's about to be, midnight on a Wednesday. I got to go to work in the morning. Like, all that stuff plays a factor when you're there. And a lot of people who were there probably don't live in Detroit. They probably live in some of the suburb areas or the surrounding areas. So that's traffic going back. It's not about to be midnight. The kids might be hungry still. There's a lot of factors that go into it. So definitely your biggest exciting moment should have been that Royal Rampage towards the end. And that probably would have kept people, that's worth kind of waiting around for. I'm not saying the women's match wasn't, but even me watching it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna fast forward to this a little bit to, go to the end. Because like I already kind of knew who I thought was gonna win. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, but I think it was kind of bad booking for that show.
Yeah, because like I said before, guys, but this is a tape show. But when Rampage started go live again, then it probably gonna get more hype, like Dynamite is. But like I said, this is probably a tape show. They probably tape Dynamite and Rampage on the same night, so that's how I feel like they went about it. But overall, it's still wait. Let's finish out the main event first, and then we give
Yep.
my overall thoughts. But in the final moments of the match, Rose short up with a spinning DDT attempt, and then went for the Beast Bomb. But Storm flipped through with a sunset flip attempt. Rose then hit a thrust kick for the near fall. Rose went for the diving knee drop, but Storm ducked it and hit a German suplex for the near fall. Sharir tried to interfere again, but Storm kicked Sharir off and hit a spinning DDT on Rose. Then Storm hit another DDT on Rose to get the pinfall. Okay, match, but it got better as the match went on. So they kind of worked hard on that one. But after the match, Shafir and Rose double team Storm, but Thunder Rose ran in to make the save. So and this is what Excalibur said: we got a thunderstorm in our hands, so that this is a pretty good tag team name for that. So with that, we're getting a tag team match with the new team Thunderstorm with the Thunder Rose and Tony Storm against Nyla Rose and Mina Shafir. Along with that, we got Christian Cage and Luchasaurus appearing. So that powerful duo. We're getting the Butcher and the Blade versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. And then we got a street fight for the TNT Championship with Scorpio Sky versus Warlow. And then the main event, John Moxley defending the interim AEW World Championship against the winner of the Royal Rampage Battle Royal, Brody King. So, yeah. So, overall thoughts, it was an okay show. That was just a setup to which will be a good main event for Dynamite in Moxley and Brody King. So, like I said before, the idea of the Royal Rampage, I think that should come back as a double header with Blood and Guts.
Definitely facts. I think the Royal Rampage was definitely the highlight of the night. Definitely want to see more of that. I'm glad they kind of thought of a clever way to bring in their version of a Royal Rumble, which is, Royal Rumbles are fun. They always get a good pop, always a good moment for the jokers to pop up and, get other people from different promotions, always good for good pops and then stories along. So I'm happy they were able to figure out how else they can use this two main thing. And then also it feels very uniquely them. It is different from the Royal Rumble, but it's a little bit of the same, but it's their own little spin on it, Where like same with Blood and Guts, where it's only surrender or submission, no pinfall, no anything like that. So that's their own little spin on it. And that's how you differentiate yourself from your competition. Like I said, I was little issue with the booking here. Didn't agree with starting off with that first. You trying to keep people in the seats, or you just knew people were going to leave anyway. But I felt like it was a throwaway. And you got the Young Bucks on them, and they're supposed to be like your champions. And to put them in after all of that wrestling, I don't know, just kind of bad booking them on somebody's end. I don't know if Tony booked this or another producer booked it, but I understand why they did it, because you're coming off SmackDown, so you want to see that that Royal Rampage, and that probably was the main decision there. But still, you got to think about Rampage as its own show. They don't try to compete with everything else. Just make a good show. I think people would have waited to see that Royal Rampage. It's the first ever Royal Rampage. You could have kept that in your back pocket a little bit longer. Let the Bucks go out first, then Nyla, then that. It would have felt like its own complete show. But I feel like because they did it the other way around, the other two matches were just throwaway matches.
Yeah, for sure. Even though the booking of the match was kind of off, like I mentioned before, some of the people left.
Still entertaining show. It just after that one match, I was like, man, fast forward. I'm over this. Just get to the end.
Yeah, but like I said, it was a pretty good show. It just kind of set up for Dynamite Wednesday. So we can't wait for that. But other than that, other than that, before we wrap up, anything else you want to tap in?
No man, no new changes, not right now. I'm working on this wrestling short film that involves my favorite wrestling game, WCW versus NWO Revenge. So I will keep you guys updated about that. This movie been kind of sitting on me for the last year or so. And I think I want to make it like a 10-minute kind of film, kind of explaining this cool experience I had when I was younger with that game. So stay on the lookout for that. I want to make this for wrestling fans and fans of wrestling games.
Absolutely. I can't wait for that. But other than that, he is Leland and I'm Trico, and we're signing off, and we'll see you for Dynamite review. We'll see you.
All right. Peace.